Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It is that time of year where high school recruiting really starts to pick up a little bit of momentum, and Tennessee could see some of that momentum. If you listen to Austin Price on the radio earlier this week, he said Tennessee is expecting a commitment sooner rather than later. So that leaves us to sit back and wonder, to sit back and speculate, and that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, Tennessee is a little over 2 weeks away from hosting the 865 live recruiting event. That's where they have a lot of guys, a lot of big targets come in town for that weekend. We're going to take a look at 3 guys that are scheduled to be here for that 865 live event. Could one of those guys be trending to Tennessee? Let's jump into it and let's speculate. And we're going to start with an in-state kid, a 4-star edge rusher, Zach Groves, 6'4", 240 pounds, out of Cross Plains, Tennessee. He's ranked inside the On 300, ranked 245th nationally. Now you can see there on the screen, dropped his top 5 on Twitter on May the 6th, USC, Clemson, Georgia, Ole Miss, and also Tennessee. But this is really, it's more of a 3-team race here with Ole Miss, USC, and Tennessee. You can go over to an On3 article, and he kind of breaks down each one of those programs. He says at Ole Miss, Coach Golding, he likes how he talks, how he does the defense and everything. Coach Joyner, the way he runs practice and develops these kids. He showed me a plan of how I can be and who I can be. He goes on to talk about USC. He says it's nice up there. It's very beautiful. The coaches, the people in general, it's just nice there. I do feel like I can fit in over there with what Coach Henney has going on. Now, when it comes to the Vols, again, in-state kid, says how close it is, how they talk to me. It is a different way. I really like Tennessee. Coach Chop, the defense, I think it's their defense. Coach Hype, Coach Garner, Coach Banks, they know what they are doing. Now, again, scheduled to be here for 865 live in 2 weeks. And then we kind of start to pick up that momentum with official visits coming in June. A lot of these kids want to make a decision before they start their senior season of high school football. He's got those official visits on the calendar already. He's set to visit Ole Miss on June the 6th through the 8th, Tennessee the following weekend, and then wraps things up with USC on June the 20th through the 22nd. But why Zach Groves is first on my list here today when we're speculating, when AP puts out there, hey, look for a commitment sooner rather than later. VolQuest put out an update this morning, said in-state prospect Zach Groves is expected in for 865 live as Tennessee is trending hard for the East Robertson edge. Goes on to say the Vols are in a fantastic spot right now. The real question shifts to if he will even make it to the official visit. So is Zach Groves on commit watch? Is Zach Groves trending to the good guys? Is Zach Groves going to pull the trigger at 865 live? Well, that's the first one on the list. We got a couple more guys that are also scheduled to be in town that weekend. We're going to talk about them and break it down. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Take 2 seconds right below this video and smash that thumbs up. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Right now, we're going live every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We play EA Sports College Football, but we talk all things Tennessee football. So come join us and hang out for that. If you want to support the channel, you can also hit that join button down below. $1 a month. You can become a member of the channel, access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows. We're going to be doing members-only streams coming up soon, all kinds of fun stuff, but that just supports the channel as well. Let's get back into it. Let's talk about another guy that's going to be here for 865 live. That's Zion Gibson. He's a 4-star corner, 6'1", 174 pounds, out of the state of Alabama. Again, an elite prospect, a blue-chip prospect, ranked 63rd nationally according to the On3 industry rankings. Now, he has been committed to Alabama going all the way back to Christmas Eve of last year, but his ears are still open. He is still listening to Tennessee. Even though he committed to Alabama over Auburn, Miami, and Tennessee, VolQuest said he is going to be in town for 865 live, and he is still listening to what Tennessee is selling. Now, here's a quote directly from him. It says, Tennessee is recruiting me the hardest right now. I have official visit booked for June the 13th. They were my first SEC offer, and they have recruited me and my family hard from day one. He goes on to say them being with me from the start says a lot. Got a good relationship with the coaches, and their game day atmosphere is insane. Coach Hype has also been heavily involved with his recruitment here, showing how much of a priority that Zion Gibson is. Now, he just had an in-home visit from Alabama yesterday, and he said exactly what you would expect from an Alabama commit after an in-home visit. He said it was perfect, talking about life, school, how it's going to be when I get there, and what all I'll be doing. Really, we just talked about everything. Now, the On3 article that kind of wraps up that visit goes on to say perhaps the biggest question for Gibson is if he will take any additional visits. Others have continued to recruit, but Tennessee was mentioned as the school trying to turn him away from the Crimson Tide. Goes on to say the Vols were the first to offer. They were recently in Gaston for an in-home visit with Gibson, stating they just keep trying to flip me. They are recruiting me hard. I have a good relationship with everyone there. Previous plans of returning to Knoxville for an official on June the 13th. Gibson said he is still deciding if he will take the visit or other trips outside of Alabama. I would say if he's saying, I'm debating whether or not I'm going to take the visit, forget the officials. I mean, he's talking about he's planning to be at 865 Live in 2 weeks and then follow that up with an official visit on June the 13th. I would say that is a pretty good sign that he is listening to Tennessee. But again, also has an official to Alabama on June the 20th. Auburn and Miami are also a couple of schools that are trying to get visits scheduled. Want to jump over and talk about another in-state kid. So where are you at on this thing? Zach Groves, is he trending? Is that who Austin Price is talking about? Zion Gibson, is he on flip watch from Alabama? And then another guy that is scheduled to be here for 865 Live, another in-state prospect that I want to talk about, and that is Craig Tutt, 4-star safety out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Again, ranked inside the on 300, man. There are just so many guys that Tennessee is heavily involved in that could be trending to Tennessee that are elite blue chip prospects. Josh Heupel's recruiting continues to trend up. Now, something interesting about Craig Tutt here. Former teammates with Tennessee running back Dwan Morris at Oakland High School in Murfreesboro led Oakland to their 5th state championship in 7 years last season. TSSAA Class 6A Mr. Football runner-up last year. I was reading the On3 article said that Tutt's an interesting prospect because of his athleticism. Says he plays running back for the Oakland Patriots, ran for 1,250 yards and 18 touchdowns a year ago. Says not to mention also he is a linebacker making 64 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 TFLs, and an interception. But again, being recruited at the next level to play that safety position. Sounds like Auburn, Michigan, Ole Miss, and Tennessee are in it, but it's more of a Tennessee-Ole Miss battle up there at the top. Here's a quote from Craig Tutt himself. Said there's some separation with Ole Miss and Tennessee at the top, then the other schools. Says I'm still open, but both of those schools excite me. There is not one at the top, but I am divided between those two. He says I visited Ole Miss 3 or 4 times, visited Tennessee more than that, and there are a lot of similarities. The staff, the culture, how I feel, the love, and how I feel at home have those two at the top. Craig Tutt going to visit Ole Miss officially on June the 6th, and then Tennessee on June the 20th. Tennessee seems very backloaded again, and I've talked about this anytime I've talked high school recruiting. They did it in the class of 25. Now they are doing it again in the class of 26, and I thought it was an interesting point on VolQuest this morning when they were talking about these guys that were supposed to be in town for 865 Live here in a couple of weeks, and then follow that up with official visits in June. Tennessee had a very high success rate a year ago in that class of 25, that with the kids that made it in for both of those events. Now, that's what's going to take place here with Zach Groves, Zion Gibson, and Craig Tutt, all 3 scheduled to be at 865 Live, and then follow that up with officials in June. Here's another quote from Craig Tutt. Says, I will make my decision after the official visits. It will come down to how I feel when I am there. I want to be where I wake up, and I want to be there every day. The culture is so important to me. I want to be at a good place for me all around. So again, trips to 865 Live, official visits in June, and then decisions coming after that. Can Tennessee hit that top 10 class in the class of 2026? A lot of people are going to be negative. A lot of people are going to say no. A lot of people are going to say absolutely zero chance. I continue to look at the numbers and watch how Josh Heupel's recruiting classes have continued to trend upward in the right direction. We've got our quarterback in the boat. Faison Brandon going to be in town doing a lot of peer recruiting. Who is trending to Tennessee? Put it in the comment section down below. As always, smash that thumbs up. You can go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. There's a link in the description for that. As always, thank you to the members of the channel. If you join this channel and you've got a Power T beside your name in the comments, in the live chat, you're what keep the lights on around here. You're what give me the opportunity to talk Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the Talkin Vols Network. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.